Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only Smash Brothers podcast where people defend Fire Emblem and Smash. Probably. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it's honestly wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me in the slightest. It's not that there's too many, it's just that they are focusing too hard on swords in the same character 4 times, arguably. Ugh. We like Fire Emblem. We just want it to be represented better. It'd be like if Zelda only had, different versions of Link's and Zelda. Ah, shit.
And Ganondorf learned his moves from Captain Falcon.
Fuck.
That's pretty cool. They're both cool guys.
You know who else is a cool guy?
No, thank you.
I was gonna say
I didn't
Snowman.
expect that today. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. You mean this guy?
No, I mean this guy. I mean this guy.
Oh.
Yeah, Snowman cake.
Oh.
Ah.
Nice.
You have to learn with bits, bitch. You never saw it coming. Anyways, I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. That's Jonno, otherwise known as my ever-waking nightmare.
I do like a end of February slice of snowman cake. Keeps it cool.
End of
when it
February.
gets
Wait,
hot.
when is this episode going up? I don't know. This is still December.
February 28th.
What? Oh, hey! Last day of the month. How's it going, February?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Was a
Good
pretty
riddance
solid
and
start to the
goodbye.
year.
I haven't even experienced you yet, and I know I'm not gonna like you.
My grandma died on February 7th.
This year?
No, like 2009.
Okay, because if you were predicting your grandmother's death on a date that hasn't passed yet, that'd be pretty shit, man.
Oh no, all my grandmas are dead.
Oh, mine
Grandpas
aren't.
too. Yeah. No, that was a
Anyways,
good sandwich. Thanks for the recommendation.
you're welcome. I, some places actually have really good salmon, you know?
That is true. Where's your favorite place to get some?
Back alley owls.
Okay. They normally go to Al's for other things in the back alley, like trout. Salmon is a bit more of a delicacy.
I mean, it's usually a lot of bass, but every once in a while.
Yeah. There's some treble too.
Double treble?
And Zero and Sigma.
And some people blasting off again.
Mm-hmm. You got that right. DJ Octavio plays every Sunday.
Well, he used to. Lately, it's been some new age hippie group.
Yeah. You could see Jagan riding on his horse in the middle of the dance floor.
That would not make any sense.
Yep.
Why is this man on a horse?
Because he fights on his horse, just like
How did he get in the front door with a horse?
Some guys, man, some of these clubs, they're new age, as you said.
No.
Yep. Epona was there. The unnamed horse from the Zelda movie, the as yet unnamed horse, was there.
What about the Lindis horse from Fire Emblem Shadows?
Yes. God.
Did you see who Did you see who the newest character is?
As of recording date, yeah, I sure did.
Ike is now a bear. How do you feel about this, Jonno? How do you feel
Ike's
about
been a bear since
into...
at least Radiant Dawn, so I get it.
Definitely not Path of Radiance. That boy is skinny.
Uh-huh.
Going through Radiant Dawn, they're like, hey, what if our main character actually had muscles for the first time ever?
Yeah, right. To the
Which
point where Radiant Dawn Art came around and Japanese fans called him a gorilla. I was like,
okay.
oh.
I was gonna say the dev next to them at the table said like, but wait, what about Hector? And then that guy just gets tossed out the window. Like, who are you talking about? There's only one protagonist for that game, and it's Linus.
You mean that guy who died in the 6th Fire Emblem game?
Does he? I've not seen the full plots for those games, Jonno.
Oh, my bad.
The only ones whose plots I know fully are Awakening, Fates, Echoes, Engage, and Three Houses. And I guess if you want to count Three Hopes. That's all I know.
Okay.
I don't know the fullness of anything else. I know bits and pieces.
And Shadows?
No. I'm not playing Shadows. I did the tutorial and then I bounced. It's like, nah, this shit, I ain't interested. And it's really unfortunate because spoilers, it's a big Fire Emblem episode, and if you don't care about Fire Emblem, stop. I got nothing else to tell you.
What are you doing here anyway? You should go.
This
Leave.
is an all Fire Emblem Smash or Dash episode. Just so you're all aware if you weren't sure already by the title. But Fire Emblem Heroes is, they haven't said it yet, but that shit's being shut down. It's on its way out.
Wow.
The current book that just started is Ragnarok themed. It's like, okay, in the world. They just announced that they're going to stop releasing certain kinds of special units. I was like, that's suspicious. And generally, January is when they announce the next Choose Your Legends vote, which, this episode's coming out in February. This is being recorded late December. We don't know yet if Choose Your Legends is going to be happening this year. If they don't announce anything in January for Choose Your Legends, oh, it's done. It's fucking done. And I'm not surprised because, one, the game has had an issue with power creep for the last several years. But two, also, they're running low on characters to add. Fire Emblem Awakening has all of its characters, including characters like Cervantes and Excellus in the game.
I was really clamoring for Excellus.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty clear. It's like, okay, end of service is approaching, or at the very least, the end of new content. People, they might still let people run PvP shit, I guess, but I don't see the point. Right. And it's just so unfortunate that Shadows is the game that's being queued up to replace it. It's like, oh, that ain't gonna go well. That game is not gonna go well. Unfortunately, there's no real way to save heroes because, again, the whole power creep issue. And when you're running out of characters, you're running out of characters. You can't. Normally, you can stop running out of characters to release a new game, but Engage did not bump up numbers for Fire Emblem. Three Houses sure shot numbers up. Engage, not so much.
Yeah. Well, it had a good run, longer than any other Nintendo app for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was a moneymaker for him for sure.
Let's see.
It was mostly good.
How
Some of the books definitely could have been removed, but
9 years then. That's crazy.
Yeah, I believe we're on book 10.
Book 10 of 10, as it were.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, nice round number. Then they can follow up with a Final Fantasy XIV style MMO for Fire Emblem.
Or they'll do a Genshin Impact style game.
Oh yeah.
If
interesting.
If Nintendo did any, honestly, with the success that not only that game, but like all the other games in that typical genre have done, Fire Emblem wouldn't be a bad choice to make an attempt out of that kind of game. What else? What's the only other option? Xenoblade. But just do Fire Emblem. They already know it's going to sell.
Right. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to try out Shadows. It seems like at least one of our friends is into it.
Are they?
Give it a try.
Or are they just? I think they're just sharing the. I think they're just sharing the art. I don't think they're playing it.
Shadows is an odd one. What? Isn't it?
It's like a
You
it's like
are
it's a werewolf game, but with strategy where you're attacking units, and you can attack your allies. Like round one, nobody knows who you are, so everybody's trying to like suss each other out. Well, you can attack allies or like put up enemy buffs or just attack enemies and disguise yourself. But then after round one, everybody gets to vote for who they think is the bad guy, and there's always only 3 people. So it's just you're voting for one of the other 2 people. If you're right, you get a buff going into round two. If you're wrong, you get nothing. But then after the vote, the bad guy's revealed anyways, and then in round two, it's just bad guy versus the players. Like, okay.
okay. Seems like an odd structure.
I also think it's really
And then
weird that every I don't think there's anything wrong. It's like, okay, animal people, sure, whatever, I don't care. But I do think it's weird that like anytime they have the villain reveal, it's like, okay, time to go into my full animal form. It's like this feels a little sketch. Feels a little sketch. Not gonna lie. It's like, okay, all right. Also, what the fuck are they gonna do for a character like Randolph or Pan? They're already animal people.
not include him in the game.
Yeah, probably. We only have 5 legacy characters so far. Lindis becomes a horse. Dimitri
Of course.
becomes, I think, a tiger, if I remember right. What the fuck? They should have made him be a boar. Come on, it's literally there. Jesus. Ike, as discussed, becomes a bear. Veronica from Heroes becomes a bat. And who else is there? There's somebody else. Oh, um, wait, no.
He becomes a lion, Dimitri.
There should be a boar.
Yeah, you should become a lion.
No. Is it Camilla? It might no, it's not Camilla because I was joking the other day about how like, oh, we should just all right, so all right, people trying to start predicting what animal Camilla's gonna turn into. Because we know she's gonna get added. It's like it my thought was like, okay, it's gonna be whatever animal the internet most associates with mom. That's what Camilla's gonna be. You know, it's funny because I thought about kangaroo. I was like, I also don't know how they would do a kangaroo. Oh, Corin is the other one. Yeah, Corin, where it's like, hey, we'll just make you even more dragon. Sure. What?
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Is it Corin female or Corin male?
Female Corin.
Okay.
The better designed Corin.
Indeed. That's odd.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It's,
That's why they
yeah.
twisted Corin. Corin becomes the dragon form, but they're not just their dragon form. It's a robot version. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I need you to understand this is not a fucking joke.
Yeah. We can. Oh, of course it is. I mean, canonically, like in Fire Emblem Fates, if you tie X and Y, it makes sense that Corin would be a robot dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, all of that to
Anywho,
say, it's a shame
hell of a
that this
game.
is the
Hell of a
replacement
game.
game.
You should all play it. Can't wait.
Nah, I'm good. I'm not even gonna care about the stories. Like, nah, I have no interest in this. Sorry.
They
The
should do
story,
a Fire Emblem
the
base.
story, by the way, is also just basically the start of Mark's movie. It's like, oh no, your kingdom is destroyed or taken away from you, and you can't trust your people here. We're gonna give you your 2 retainers. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, your 2 retainers, Karina and Alberta, or otherwise known as Cain and Abel.
What?
Yeah, it's female animal versions of Cain and Abel.
Wow.
Because Karina becomes a bull.
Wow.
Cain the bull.
Wow. Incredible.
And Alberta,
Incredible.
I think it's a wolf? This doesn't
Yeah,
exactly look
makes
clear.
sense.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Alberta's a panther. Panther.
incredible. Yeah, from my understanding, there's like a Dissidia-esque thing where it's like Naga versus some other god.
I know Naga is involved. Yeah. Uh, Fenris, I believe, is like the evil, the goddess of shadow, so based off of the Fenrir wolf. So okay.
Okay.
Like, I don't dislike the character design in this game, but I also do not understand this game's direction.
Right.
I also find it funny that the main character, Kurt, is just a puppy. They're 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 a
What?
they're a dog.
Oh, like Rockruff?
No, well, Midnight Lycanroc when they have their bad reveal. Because yes, even the Prince character can be revealed to be a villain.
Wow,
I
that
understand why
design
they
is
do that
weird.
because of the game mechanic, but story wise, what?
Hmm.
Makes no sense. No.
Odd.
Also, I will say this for the game: Kurt, female character, first Fire Emblem lead that is canonically gay.
Really?
So I'll give him some credit there. Kurt is in a relationship
Cool.
with another princess.
Nice. I like the design of the character in their normal form. The shadow form looks funny.
For Kurt specifically, or are you talking
Yeah.
about somebody else? Yeah, like Kurt is
Oh,
100% was like, okay, yeah, you're wearing Marth's clothes. I can.
mm-hmm.
It's a human puppy in Marth outfit.
Yeah.
The shadow form is definitely like, what the.
Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah, so some of them do a better translation, going from their
Sure.
between their forms. Like I think Karina does a better job. It's still like, okay, that's a transformation, but it's
Mm-hmm.
I would call that one better.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's a game.
I'll try it at some point, I guess. I'm not like chomping for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about something more positive.
A Fire Emblem horse game. Raise your horses for battle and care for them after.
Okay, I'm not sure if you're talking about the game that I think you're talking about. Because there's a game like that, but it's not Fire Emblem. And it's not battle, it's
Fi-
racing.
Fire Emblem, baby simulation, baby versions of all the characters, and it's just kind of set up like the Three Houses tea time, but you're caring for the baby.
No, we're starting the episode now.
Baby,
Nope. Alright, so we're
they
doing
all
Rate
are.
Their Chances. That's what we do before we do Smash or Dash. And hey, look, our
Is
Smash
it?
Dash, as you can tell from the title, it's for Fire Emblem characters. Oh, you don't recognize some of those names? Don't worry about it. We'll talk about them. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Only 6 people know that character. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about him. But first, Rate Their Chances. We
67
got
people.
5 Fire Emblem characters that Jonno picked out, and we're going to discuss what we think their chances are to be playable in the next Smash. And it's interesting because my default position for all 5 of these characters is the way Smash works on picking characters that represent Fire Emblem. All 5 of these characters have already lost their chance. It's like, okay,
Sure.
interesting start for each of them. But Jono, you're gonna take point for every character here today. So why don't you start telling us your thoughts on Alindis of Fire Emblem Blazing Blade, I believe.
Blazing Sword.
Blazing Sword.
Yes. The first Fire Emblem game released in the West. Martha and Roy, love those guys. They sure did a lot for gaming in America because of Smash Brothers, and I'm going to wrap myself up in a lovely blue robe as I speak about her. I feel like Mark, the tactician, as I speak in these garbs. Lean back in my reclining chair. Don't I look comfy?
A little bit.
I look like a worm, kind of.
No, don't go near that path. No, I will cut the conversation out.
What? That this is my form in Fire Emblem Shadows?
I'm also cutting that out. No.
Worm
Lindis. Talk
John.
about Lindis.
Worm John. Yeah, you are a tactician. You wake up in the plains of Sakai with little memory, including your name. Takes a little bit of time for Lynn to work out of you. Lindis is a Sakaean nomad. She lives off of the land and in kind of the like nomadic grassy countryside of Sakai. They're overrun by bandits. With your help, she defeats them. Yada yada goes on a quest that becomes, as Fire Emblem tends to do, much larger than it initially seems. Like it's a birthright journey for Lynn in her like prologue chapters that they designed. They designed this character to be kind of like an easy slide in for new players because they knew that there would be millions of new players introduced to the series through this game because it's the first released outside of Japan. And yeah, so you get to learn the ropes with Lynn for 10 or so chapters and Blazing Sword. And she is a different type of lord for multiple reasons. One of the few female lords up to this point, the other one being Celica and Gaiden. She also fights more
Micaiah.
like a. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just meant up to that point.
Oh,
Up to
that
that
point, gotcha.
Sorry. Yeah. But also fights more like a Myrmidon, like a ninja type character. A lot of crazy critical hit animations, like with her like splitting up into multiple shadow jujitsu forms and coming back in on a character capable of riding a horse in her like upgraded status, has a bow and arrow that she uses about as much as her Monikati blade. Cool character. Funnily enough, like she missed her chance in Brawl with Ike coming out and being a massively popular lord around the same time. But yeah, she's a character kind of like Ephraim, who despite her time having come and gone, she remains evergreen in like fans' minds and is one of the more popular lords like consistently for years and years and years. That's her.
I'll say to speak to that, to her popularity, we were talking about Fire Emblem Heroes and the Choose Your Legends event.
Mm-hmm.
Every year since Fire Emblem Heroes started, they've ran a Choose Your Legends voting event where people can vote for one character each day for 7 days. So they can do different
Right.
characters if they want to each day or whatever. And the top two males with the most votes and the top two females with the most votes are declared the winners, and they will get a special alt created for them later on in the year. Lynn was one of the 4 winners of the very first Choose Your Legends event. It was between the top 4, and I don't remember exactly who got how many votes, but the top 4 was Lynn, Lucina, Ike, and Roy. Lynn is the only one of those 4 not to be in Smash. Also, the only one of those 4 to the other 3 all got into Smash before this vote happened, but still.
Right.
It's very clear that she's the popularity. She's a starting character of the game, but then once you're out of her chapter, like you don't play as her anymore. Not really. It's now you do either Hector or
Mm-hmm.
Eliwood. But even regardless of that, she's still considered the rep from her game, as evidenced again by Fire Emblem Shadows picking her to be the first character from those 2 games to be a legacy character in that game, for better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I think the structure of that game served that well too. They introduced this wildly different type of lord first. If she were tertiary, like you have to unlock her route, like Hector, then maybe Hector would be the more popular lord. But the way things worked out, and poor Eliwood, he stood no chance between those 3.
I mean, also what helps Lindis, as you mentioned, is she's more unique with her animations. Like, okay, Hector, leap, slam axe, return. Lynn's got multiple animations all going on with her. That they put work into her, so she stands out with.
There was some care put into her. Yeah, I mean, the best thing that Hector has going for him, and this is a sidebar, but whatever, is people can say, oh, he could be an Ike clone with an axe, which, fair enough, he could, easily. Uh, Lynn though brings a whole different kid and caboodle to the game, and I think she still has that chance. I think the preface is for most of these characters, probably all of them, to be fair, because Fire Emblem has a recency bias like Pokemon does for inclusion in Smash, unfortunately. So we can kind of assume that the new Fire Emblem game, if Smash is being developed right now, I'm forgetting the name of it, but the one that was announced recently
Yeah.
is probably going to have one of its protagonists in the game, which is an interesting situation because it seems like we're moving away from avatars there. So I'm wondering who it'll end up being.
The main
Fucking
character.
good, thank God. Yeah. Do they have a central main?
I mean, the trailer prominently showed the kid with the purple dreadlocks, so I'm gonna say
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
them.
Interesting. Yeah. So they will probably be it. But running the preference, the like, oh, if we have a second Fire Emblem character announced, which has happened multiple times throughout the history of Smash, Lynn still has a pretty good shot under those pretenses
Yeah.
because she's so popular still, and everyone knows it.
So as you mentioned, there is a new Fire Emblem coming out. It's coming out in
Mhm.
2026. By the time this episode releases, we may know the release date. Who knows? We
Yeah.
know the main character is named Kai, and we don't know too much about what they can do, but they're in the trailer they were at one point shown riding on what looks like some kind of turkey with a spear. I'm not kidding, I'm looking at the picture right now. That thing is a turkey. Turkey mount.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Perfect.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
this to happen just for the turkey to be in the game.
Maybe. But like even honestly, I'm not sure. This may sound strange. I don't know if we're gonna get the usual pattern with Fire Emblem for the next Smash.
Really?
My thought process is all because of how Sakurai presented Byleth for Ultimate, where he very much gave off the impression that it was not that this was like okay, because we knew before it was like okay, Nintendo picked the characters. They weren't picked by Sakurai like the base roster was. And it very much felt like he was telling us, yeah, I wasn't sure if we should do another Fire Emblem one, but I was told do it. And to do, but I was like, okay.
Yep.
So it's possible they might hold off on that. Maybe they'll save that character for DLC. Who knows? Or Sakurai will just go like, I don't want to do this way right now. It also depends on how the
Mhm.
next Smash game is going to come out, because more than any other franchise, I think Fire Emblem characters depends on how the next Smash game's roster is going to go. Are we getting everyone is here too? Or are we getting some big ol' cuts? Because if we're getting big ol' cuts,
Right.
I feel like Fire Emblem is going to get slashed hard.
Oh yeah.
And then we might get some new characters to replace them. And if we're getting new characters to replace them, I think Sakurai, knowing how people look at Fire Emblem in Smash and how tepid their reactions can be when another Fire Emblem character is revealed for Smash, I think he'll want to go in a different direction and pick characters that would actually fight differently.
Yeah.
And for some of them, do. Ike doesn't fight like Marth, but Ike is another sword guy. Corin doesn't fight like Martha Crumb, Marth or Ike, but is another sword person.
Mhm.
Sort of. Yes. Robin also has a fucking sword. Every
Right.
Fire Emblem character that is playable in Smash uses a sword in some capacity. All of
Right.
them. Now that said, Lynn also a sword user, but like Robin and arguably Corin and absolutely Byleth has the bow has another weapon that they can pull from as well. As you can tell by the moveset they made for her back in like season 2. Go check
With
that out.
Flame Zone.
With Flame Zone. And I'm talking a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of ifs here. It's because it's really hard to tell with Fire Emblem in particular. But I feel like if these scenarios line up where we're getting some cuts if Sakurai wants to mix up the weapons being used by Fire Emblem characters to help not fix or say the popularity of Fire Emblem Smash, but to mitigate concerns. A character like Lynn, who doesn't just use a sword, but if her sword usage is very different. She is more samurai-esque. She's samurai plus ninja, as you mentioned, and also the bow. The popularity that she has, being one of the first Choose Your Legends winners, I think Lynn, despite being a character whose game has definitely missed its traditional chance, I don't think her odds are bad. I'm not going to give her a
Right.
70%, but I don't
Right.
think she's higher than a 10 easily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it says something that she was the first Fire Emblem assist trophy.
Mm.
It was acknowledging her and how close she probably got to being included in Brawl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Ike's popularity, we would have gotten Lindis.
Mm-hmm. What a world that would have been.
It should be a lot more agile.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah, I think I'm comfortable with going for a percentage. 28%.
Okay. I'm going with 35.
Okay.
I was debating somewhere between 30 and 40. I was like, I think 40 might be too high, but I feel good about 35.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
let's see here. That's going to average out to 31.5%.
Respectable.
Indeed. For our next character, Jonno, why don't you tell us a little bit about the boar, Dimitri?
You don't mean the lion?
No.
Okay, so picture this. You're going to school with friends from every nation. You are the representative.
I'm sorry, you lost me at having friends.
Well, Dimitri would agree at certain points.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you are Dimitri. Maybe this is where we're going with
I
this.
do have issues with my anger.
True, but whereas Dimitri's issues have become conflated, it seems like yours over the years have, at least outwardly here, deflated. You're like the anti-Dimitri, while also being Dimitri all the same.
Hmm. I think I'm getting too much credit there, but okay.
But yeah, he is the crown prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, if I
Fargus.
recall, that's how you pronounce that.
Yep.
And there is, well, we know the general plot of Three Houses. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with the church and the way that it operates. Let's just say that it's not all
Whoa!
very, yeah. It's a bit scrupulous. And unfortunately for Dimitri, there is a support the church that helps in leading him down a path that is not great.
Team Edelgard.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like Edelgard, Dimitri has a propensity, or there's an inclination with his story to become darker. He has a lot of underlying issues that come to the forefront throughout the course of the game, and he's a spear wielding lord. He is a fairly powerful, like primarily lance wielding unit. I'm forgetting the name of his
Ariadbar.
spear. Yeah, that one. He wields
Fight me.
Ariadbar, and that's his thing. And he wants you to fight him. Again, Three Houses, not the most recent Fire Emblem game, but also the most popular one in recent memory. Engage did not really make a huge splash per se, and it seems like the new Fire Emblem that's coming out on Switch 2 soon is a part of that world. It feels like it's a sequel to Three Houses, at least a spiritual one, or maybe it's set several hundred years in the future, or what?
It's definitely in the same setting as Three Houses. Because one, the art
Right.
style is the same as Three Houses' art style, and Engage is a different art style.
Right.
And we've also seen weapons that look very much like the relics from Three Houses, with the dragon bone design. It's like, this
Right.
is suspicious. I
Right.
see. You failed with your new game, so you're going back to what you know was liked. I
Right.
see you. I don't blame you, but I see you.
Smart. Thank goodness. Thank goodness you've done that as opposed to doubling down on Engage.
I mean, there were other options. They could have gone in a completely new direction too. We could have gotten Space Emblem, you know? I want Space Emblem.
It's like all the people that want a sci-fi Zelda.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's
precisely.
it's not Zelda anymore.
Right. If you want sci-fi Zelda, watch Star Wars.
What are you talking about? Star Wars was a fantasy movie. It's got swords, it's got magic. Star Wars is fantasy with a sci-fi skin.
Oh, so they can make a Zelda in space if so long as it's fantasy.
As if they ever gives Link a fucking gun. No.
Luke had a gun.
Yes. But again, Star Wars is a classical fantasy story.
You know, I will settle on Link being able to drink blue milk.
He already can. It's called Blue Choo Choo Jelly.
Straight from the source.
Majora's Mask.
Crazy. Speaking of crazy, what are we thinking about Dimitri's odds here?
So Dimitri is I think Dimitri's odds heavily depend on one thing and one thing only: is Byleth still in the game?
Right.
Because if Byleth's still in the game, Byleth uses not only but Byleth uses the relic weapons of Edelgard, Claude, and Dimitri in their moveset. Uses Aimer, Aryabar, and Failnaught. So that being said, if Byleth is still using those, it makes no sense to have Dimitri be playable in Smash. Now I'm saying this,
Right.
but also sometimes Smash doesn't give a fucking shit. Hello, Robin's Final Smash having Marth in it, or not Marth, having Crumb in it.
Close enough. Close enough.
And then they made Crumb be playable at Ultimate, and they kept his Final Smash the same.
Cardinal sin.
I can only assume that what happened is that Crumb was a very late addition after they had already gotten a Robin working design as Final Smash, and there just wasn't enough time, or maybe not enough time. There wasn't enough. The amount of time that it would have taken to alter Robin's Final Smash was not going to be worth the effort because they would have had to 3D model another character. That's probably what it came down to, and I get it, but it's still really fucking weird.
Yeah. So is Byleth using other people's legendary weapons, which is not canonical to the game.
Well, no. Sort of is. Everybody except for those three hands their sacred family relics to Byleth and trusts them to use them as the best way that he sees fit. Which typically means give it back to the character or to somebody else who shares that crest, because if a different character uses it, it's not going to be used to their fullest, and they're going to take some damage every time they attack.
Right.
But those three weapons specifically are not interested to Byleth to use. So, no, it's weird. That said,
it is weird.
Yeah. If Byleth is still playable, which I think he will be, even if there's big cuts, Dimitri has single-digit chances.
Mm-hmm.
If Byleth is gone, or has his moveset changed up and he no longer uses the 3 relics, then I think Dimitri's chances actually rise a fair bit, because one, different weapon type. We do not yet have a Lance wielder from Fire Emblem Smash or in Smash, period. We got no one. So Dimitri could have that role, could would be presenting a very different fighting style. And also, even if they were to also add in Bandanity, another spear wielding character, two things with this. Bandanity, Dimitri, very different sizes and proportions. And two, very different temperaments. Dimitri would be a rush down, beat your ass spear wielder. Bandanity would be a very different genre of fighter.
Yeah,
And with
totally.
Dimitri
And
being from a recent and popular Fire Emblem game, and also being himself a popular one of the popular character from that game, good chances if Byleth is either gone, doesn't use the weapons, or sacrifices doesn't give a fuck. I would do
I
it.
would love to be in that world. Yeah, right. I would love to be in that world where Byleth, if he's back in the game, does have an altered moveset. I
Yeah.
think, there you could kind of surmise perhaps there was a rush to develop a moveset given that he was DLC, and there's a lot of rumor and talk around how and when and why Byleth was implemented. They talk about him originally carrying over like a Monster Hunter moveset or whatever. Like it gets far out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like considering all that, I don't think it's the unlikeliest thing that he may get a full moveset revamp. I could also just as easily see them saying, okay, you know what, this is a unique moveset already. Let's just move on.
Really, they don't really need to
We'll
change his
see.
moveset, honestly. Just
Mm-hmm.
replace the weapons. Give him, instead
True.
of Failnaught, he is the Killer Bow. Instead of Aria Bar, he gets a Steel Lance. Instead of Aimer, he gets a Killer Axe. Or maybe it's killer weapons of all three types. And then you
Yeah.
can have some kind of special crit chance on him.
True. 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 That would be an easy solution, and in which I think that would happen if they were to say Dimitri, Claude, and Edelgard are still all extremely popular characters. Let's include one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to include any of them, it's either going to be Dimitri or it's going to be Edelgard. It's not going to be Claude.
Yeah. Why not? He's such a nice guy. Uses a bow, knows how to live upside down.
Listen, Claude's a fun character, but unlike Lynn, who has sword plus bow, Claude only has bow. True,
Yeah, that's
three
true.
houses, any character can be made to be in any class and use any weapon if you train them up, but Claude canonically just uses bow.
Mm-hmm. True.
And it's kind of hard to make a character. You can do it, but it's hard to make a character whose weapon is just bow be a full fighter.
Right. I think there's a way to do it, but then it gets sticky. It's like, why would Dimitri be the choice? I mean, why would Claude be the choice?
Yeah.
Um,
The reason why they would do
yeah.
Claude is if they don't want to take a side between Dimitri or Edelgard or extending that Edelgard or the Church. That's why they would do
True.
Claude. Honestly, it's like we want a three house character, but we want to be neutral and not stir up the fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Claude.
Oh, they're like, we're getting a second Three Houses character, and
It's
it's
Monica.
Rhea. Oh, God.
No, it's Shez.
It's
It's
Cyrus.
Shez.
Oh yeah,
No, it's
there you go.
Gatekeeper. It's 100%
Oh
Gatekeeper.
hell yeah! Finally, after all these years, you're speaking my language. Gatekeeper, it is.
No,
Oh, okay. I actually wasn't sure if my Wi-Fi went out or you were just being extremely still. Well done.
you said I was speaking your language. Like this is no, 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 no. Abort, abort. So Demetrius chances then
Yeah,
they're extremely variable to me.
me too. It's sticky and complicated. Um, I think the easiest thing is to just say like, oh, Byleth is still in. His moveset could theoretically cosmetically change to make it easy. Under those circumstances, what are Dimitri's chances?
I'm going to err on the side of by the sting, and he's not being changed at least in a significant way. So I'm going to give Dimitri just a 5%.
10.
Okay. Well, that'll come out to 7.5. Don't even need the math that one.
you go. There you go.
All right, our next.
Fortune's Weave. That's the name of the game. There we go.
Yes, Fortune's
Sorry.
Wave. Our next character we're going to be sussing from Fire Emblem is a character that's... I'm not even going to start because I know where I'm going to go. No, John, just tell us about Camilla. Just talk about Camilla.
Yeah, the Elder Princess of Nor. She's a wyvern rider. She also, we mentioned Hector and Edelgard. She wields Axis as her primary thing, and she's very doting on Corrin, your avatar character. You start out in Nor. You are given the opportunity to split from like your adopted family when you learn that your family from oh god, the other country, the name
Hoshido.
I'm forgetting, Hoshido, are your biological family. You have this opportunity to. You have to choose sides. It's kind of like the entirety, the major choice you make early on in Fates. Kind of like hence the name of the game and whatever. Uh, there's a large fan base surrounding Camilla because she is such a caring person and is an excellent fighter.
Sure. It's the second one for
Yeah.
sure, largely, yeah. Uh-huh.
And people like dragons. Dragons are a central part of Fire Emblem. They're like, wyverns aren't that far from dragons, so let's just give Camilla that nod and respect her and accept her for who she is.
Yes. Yes, it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with how much she wants to just smother and care for her dear younger sibling. Yeah. Nothing at all.
Well, she dotes on them. She cares for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My thoughts on
where were
Camilla
you
are
gonna go with it?
complicated. I I that kind of character just in general, like even when you take out the sibling aspect of it, which they then try to cover up if you romance her, there's like, oh, it turns out we're actually not. What a surprise! Like, and you're telling us this at the very end. Okay. Even if you remove
Yeah,
all
right.
that, Camilla's still a character where I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, internet, but I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't dislike her, but I definitely would not feel comfortable being around her. It's like, please back off. Personal space, 10 feet. Please.
Right.
Jesus. To be serious though, Camilla is I could be wrong about this, but I believe I would say that of all 8 of the royal siblings across the Fates games, I get technically 9 if you want to include Azura in there. Camilla's the most popular, easily, for certain reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And if we were going to get a playable character representing Nor, Camilla is obviously the choice. Leo is a mounted magician, Elise is a healer, and Xander is basically just a great sword wielder. It's like, okay, well, we already have Ike. So I guess what? Is we're going to get an Ike clone for Xander? Theoretically, sure. Camilla is
Yeah.
the choice to represent Nor. She's the one
Right.
that has the
Right,
most
right.
personality. She's not stupid, and I don't mean a bad character, but I mean like Xander is a bit of a dum dum. It's like, I'm gonna overlook all the evil shit my dad is doing because he's the king, and that's just how things work.
Right. Right.
Xander, God, oh, I have so many
I
issues
mean,
with the characters of this game.
just look at your dad. Just look at your dad and tell you there's something going
Seriously. But Camilla is definitely the best character from that perspective on who could work in Smash.
Right.
Unlike Jonno, I'm not so high up on the idea of mounted units because it doesn't make sense to me in a game like this, especially a fucking wyvern. It's like, okay, I would see a horse sooner than I would see a goddamn wyvern.
Are you
Jesus,
talking
no.
like real life? Because yeah, I guess so. Like the amount of
Shut the
horses that I've
fuck
seen
up.
versus
Just shut the fuck up.
horses are negative, though. I will say that.
Horses are mean, yes.
Yeah,
But
they say
Camilla,
nay
she's
instead of
definitely got the
yay.
personality. She's got the popularity. The only other characters from Fates that come close to being likely to be added in Smash alongside Camilla are Ryoma and Azura. Azura being a dancer and a lance unit, Ryoma is the best option of the Hoshidos. Hinoko's not a bad option, but Ryoma definitely is the top option from the Hoshido side of things. It ain't gonna be Takumi. It's not gonna be Sakura.
Fuck Takumi. Oh my
Fuck
god.
Takumi.
There's a whole other discussion right there. Just mentioning the name just brings back horrible memories.
You break out the hives over it.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
Camilla, much like Lindis, much like Dimitri, Camilla won a Choose Your Legends vote. Actually,
Right.
all 5 of the characters we're discussing today won Choose Your Legends at some point. There's been
Oh.
it's happened multiple times. Yeah, all
Yeah.
these characters have won just at different times. I don't remember how soon they all won. I know Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude all won the first year that Three Houses was eligible, and then Lysithea was the fourth one
Makes
to
sense.
round out that foursome. It was a
Right.
Three Houses sweep. Only 1 year since Three Houses, since the Three Houses, has not had at least one Three Houses character win a Choose Your Legends. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
As it were.
Camilla's chances, I would put her below Lynn, but if we're getting new Fire Emblem characters, we're mixing things up. We want a new weapon user. Camilla and Edelgard and Hector are the 3 options for an axe wielder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to go Hector. Edelgard depends on Byleth. So that leaves Camilla.
Yeah.
Actually, I forget. Who, does anybody use... Do we have a dedicated axe wielder from Engage? I don't remember. I don't think Diamant is. And I don't think Fagado is.
I have to dig back into the memory.
Definitely not Alfred. I'm not sure.
Panette? What? Boucheron?
Who the fuck is... Oh! Okay. Yeah. Those are the retainer characters. I'm thinking of Lords. Because let's be real. Is Smash going to give us somebody that's not on the level of a Lord? They haven't yet.
Not unless it's Gatekeeper.
Honestly, probably. Or Tiki or Ana. Tiki, Ana, and Gatekeeper are the only non-lords that are going to be considered.
Yeah, Alois
is not going to be considered.
Weird. Yeah, I think we kind of evaded the axes and Engage a bit.
Yeah, I'm checking. Yeah, because Diamant is sword, Fagado is bow. And then... what's his fucking name? I just said it earlier. Alfred is a lance. Tamara is a lance. Diamant's younger brother, whose name is escaping me, is a bow. And Celine, Alfred's sister, is a mage. And then Ivy and Hortensia are both mages. So yeah, there's no Lord Axe Wielder to engage unless I'm forgetting someone.
Celine, peak character design. Incredible.
The back of the dress just looks not the way that the fact that her hair is like half a foot floating off of the back of her dress, like, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Camilla.
Mm-hmm.
If they want an axe wielder, if we're mixing things up, I think she's the most likely axe wielding choice.
I would agree. She has a popularity that has trended towards evergreen. Fates is not a abundantly popular game, but she is a popular character. For many reasons, some forgivable by God, and some not. But all the same, I do think that she's popular enough to still be like running into the consideration bank for future installments of Smash, even still.
Another plus to her is that for the emblems of Fire Emblem Engage, well, Corrin is the emblem that represents the game in the base game. Camilla is the second Fates choice that they add in with the DLC. Not and like some with with Three Houses, they have Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude all in one. or in the base game, they have Ephraim and Erica in one.
Right.
It's not Camilla and Ryomo or Camilla and Zeta. No, it's just Camilla. She is the
Right.
second choice for Fate after Corrin.
Yeah, interesting. But I mean, again, sensible. Just looking at the stats from Heroes, it all kind of feeds back into that.
Yep, she's one of the characters that has the most alts in Heroes alongside Lindis.
Yeah. You know, I would like to see like the Wyvern mount being used in like the final Smash. Like that would be cool. Like
that would.
there are elements. Yeah, and just the representation of like, oh, you can use the hand axe, lightning axes, killer axes. Like the representation of an axe from the weapon triangle is very unique. So from that angle, it would be cool.
Yeah, and as somebody who has had
Mhm.
very minor training in axe combat, axes are very different than swords.
Yeah, a lot of top heavy, I would imagine.
It's you can't do like
Momentum.
graceful swings, you just cutting through things. No, it's chop, pull back, and then
Yeah,
chop again.
yeah, yeah. Um, I agree. Her chances are kind of dancing around the same place Dimitri's are. Da, 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 da. I gave him what, a 10%. I'll give her. Actually, you know what? Considering everything, I'll say 20.
I was actually also leaning 20. I was like,
Oh,
definitely
okay.
more than Dimitri, but less than Lindis because I feel more confident that Lindis would get the nod. But I was like, 20 feels right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up. One
Yes.
that you have championed for, partly due to, well, how you want them to fight, I suppose I'll say. Well, give us Sigurd. Sigurd
Sigurd,
of
the
Genealogy of the Holy War, and not
genealogy of
Thracia.
the Holy War. No, not no. Yeah, there are definitely reasons for that.
Well, because
The
it's a
the
side
prince
story.
of yeah, the Duchy of Chalfie and the paladin of the Kingdom of Grandvale. There's a lot of grandiosity that happens in genealogy of the Holy War. I think that genealogy and Thracia kind of took Fire Emblem as far as it could into like deep, mechanically invested strategy RPG. And then they made their effort with 7, like Blazing Sword, to pull back on that, make it more accessible. Because you're looking at these maps in genealogy. One chapter, I mean, you're looking, there's like 11 chapters, I think, of genealogy. One chapter could take like 2 to 3 hours to beat, easy. It's kind of nuts and insane.
That's why there's
And
only
playing through
11.
that game, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's a really interesting and involved story. It's you know, I have attempted to make the commitment to play it, and that's gone over swimmingly over the years. But from what we understand, reading about it, looking at gameplay, it's a really interesting, darker story. Very, very like Victorian Gothic fantasy, darker tidings. And Sigurd, given what happens to him midway through the game, where he, spoiler alert for a 20-plus-year-old game, dies along with all of his army and everything resets and you start with an entirely new group of units in a time jump afterwards. Yeah.
With his
All that
son,
said,
Seliph.
yeah, with his son Seliph. Sigurd, for various reasons, I think has in the Fire Emblem popularity polls persisted over Seliph. I think that the shock of what happens in his story feeds into that, as well as developer remarks. Like the Sigurd clamoring in Smash happened around the time of where Sakurai said, in '64 in Melee, he wanted to find that excuse to use Sigurd, but over Marth or Roy, but development time, other things just led against that. Sigurd's holy weapon, legendary weapon, Tearfang, is a sword, but he can also wield lances. So there's this opportunity to have Sigurd be either primarily a lance user or to be able to swap between those weapons, since he was the first lord to be able to wield multiple types of weapons. Well, One of the first, I should say. And he rides a horse. Not that that has to do anything with anything, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool guy, good character. Shame what happens to him. Memorable, though.
I like Sylph's design better,
He
but that
has
doesn't mean
puffier
anything.
hair.
Well, I know his heroes art. Yeah, judging by
Yeah.
their original arts, oh boy, almost so many of the male characters in old Fire Emblem had the same hairstyle. It's like, all right, I get it. You all like the '70s. Enough. But
Stomach does
that
have,
was this
like, OG stuff, yeah.
yeah, that was the style at the time though.
Yeah, it was.
Sigurd, again, another Choose Your Legends winner, though it took a few years. And also another emblem ring in Fire Emblem Engage. Not only is he an emblem ring in Engage, he's actually the second most important one story wise. Marth
Mm-hmm.
is, of course, the most important, but Sigurd is the next important one. All the other ones are, important for a chapter and important to a specific character slash region, and that's it. That's the
Right.
end of their importance.
Right.
Marth and Sigurd are the only two that have like any kind of I don't want to say I wouldn't say like lasting importance, but they're a higher tier up.
Right.
That said, Sigurd, while he does have a lance, they could have him do sword for some attacks, lance for other attacks. I don't think there'd be a full on swap after two. I think it'd just be like, okay, sword here, lance here. I think they just do that. The fact that he is largely sword, we already have so many swords.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he is older and his popularity is definitely lesser than anybody else we've talked about so far tonight. I He's Dimitri level at best in my eyes.
Right. Right. Hold on just a minute here. I'm looking up something about Tierfang.
Sure.
Okay. Sword. Does it have anything that it grants you that is interesting? Not really. Okay. So yeah, he's a guy with a sword.
It grants you the miracle skill, which
What a miracle.
it allows a unit to survive an otherwise fatal attack.
Wow.
That doesn't work for Smash.
Right. I think, as always, there is a way to make Sigurd unique. Um, you could incorporate the lance, you could incorporate a lot of things, but the fact that the sword is the primary weapon regardless is problematic.
Yeah.
Because unlike Lyn, he's not using it in any drastically different way either. He is a
It's a
prince,
normal
he's a lord,
sword.
he's using it in the way that precisely.
Like at least
Yeah, I
Lyn is
think
using a samurai sword.
mm-hmm.
Sigurd's using the same, more or less the same style of sword that somebody will roast me with fire for this. More or less the same style of sword that Martha's already using, and that Roy is using, and that Crown is using,
Yeah.
and that Lucina is using. Do we see the problem?
Although the sword that those four have are literally the same sword.
No, Roy's is different.
Oh yeah. But most of them have the falchion, which is funny.
That said, I don't think Crom's falchion is the same thing as Mars falchion. That thing is a different design. If anything,
It's
it got
become
reforged.
it became exalted. It's the exalted falchion.
Yes, I'm saying it had to get reforged because that thing is not the same
Yeah,
shape. It's
yeah,
not the same
and
sword.
neither of them are like real falchions either, which is also
No,
funny.
they're not.
It's like, okay then. But yeah, I think this one's actually easy. His chances are fairly low. He's still a popular character. Give genealogy its due because it's not a relic, but it's a part of Fire Emblem that we're not returning to probably.
Yeah, if
Um,
if we
yeah.
didn't know about Fortune's Wave, if Fortune's Wave wasn't on its way here, my chance for Sigurd would be increased
Mm-hmm.
because it's not going to be a Lear. So like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, they're gonna have to pick a legacy character they want to have anybody else from Fire Emblem. Well, we already have Marth. Sigurd is the next most important emblem from that game, and supposedly for years it's been rumored his game was going to get remade. And the same guy that leaked images from Engage told us about it, but there's been no fucking sign.
Yeah.
I would have given Sigurd a higher score even a year ago. That with Fortune's Weave existing, nah.
Yeah. 5%.
3.
Yeah.
I can't give him more than Dimitri. Averages at the 4. All right, Jonno. Our last Wraith of Shin's character fights differently than all the ones we've discussed about so far. Tell us about Micaiah.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah, we love Micaiah around here. She's protagonist of Radiant Dawn. For a while we were again like leading with these characters who were sword wielders. We came across her, and she's a mage, a magic wielding lord. Gee,
First
that's the
one.
first time that's ever happened. Celica to an extent, but no, she has a sword as her primary weapon, even still. One that Pichu's the shit out of her, but still.
Shit.
Yeah.
You
So
right?
Micaiah, yeah, when you're right. She's a light magician. Has a variety of light magic based tomes that she can use. She's the leader of the Dawn Brigade, like a freedom fighting mercenary type group that travels around the world of Radiant Dawn. Soth or Soth, however you want to pronounce that, from Path of Radiance is also like Sorest up and working with her as well in the Dawn Brigade, and they yeah, again, they're freedom fighters. They help remove people from tyranny and fascism, and are great all around people, if not a little over their heads, because they're so young doing this thing. Yeah, she became kind of like Fire Emblem 7, Blazing Sword. She's the character that you play as first, the lord that's introduced to you initially. You go through 10 solid chapters with her, 10-ish, and then you're thrown into part 2, and you're like, whoa, Ike's in this game, and he's huge.
He's a bear.
And he kind of takes, yeah. He kind of takes it over from there as the primary lord, but she's still pretty important throughout the majority of the game. Um, when things get wacky and weird and old school Fire Emblem fashion with this game, and Ashura comes and you have to fight a literal goddess. Yeah, there are story related beats to why Micaiah is necessary. So there you go. But again, another pretty popular character still. Maybe not as popular as some of the others we've talked about today, respectively so still. And again, light based magic. Not even Robin in Smash is a purely magic user. So this is your chance for something different.
Yep. And
Yep.
even with Robin, they give him an element of each of the different types. He's got fire, lightning, wind, and dark. Micaiah
Yeah.
is just light mage. That said, her light magic is kind of oddly defined because it includes spells like lightning and L light and
Yeah.
shine and Nosferatu. Wait, what? Hold on. That's a dark spell and
Right.
awakening. The shit
Right.
is
Right.
happening here. Okay, but it's light in the Telius games. It's like, oh, okay,
I forgot that.
sure,
Odd.
sure.
She can use it to her advantage. She also has a nice little bird named Yume who can peck at you.
Yeah, I actually feel like Yune would make Yune the bird would definitely make an appearance in like a taunt or something. Yune the spoiler would be in the final Smash.
Could be easy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Micaiah, as you mentioned, first Magic Lord, starting Lord of Radiant Dawn, and then you kind of alternate between her and Ike after that point They like you start out with her, then you play some with Josiah, and then they kind of team up and work together. What I find interesting about Mikaya is like, as you mentioned, she's a freedom fighter, but she's from the nation that was the villains from Path of Radiance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yep.
oh, that's interesting. She's
Mm-hmm.
because now her like after her people were being arrested, now her people are being oppressed, and it's like, hey, not everybody was a dick. Maybe we don't oppress the
Right.
poor, you know? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
she's fighting back against that with the Dawn Brigade, including, fan favorite Dawn Brigade member, star of the game, Meg.
The daughter of the star of Path of Radiance, Braum.
Yeah. There's
Good
just the
times.
best character,
It's,
the best stats.
she's one of those
Oh.
characters who I go back, I'm like, I want to beat this game with her in my party just to prove a point, and then I just can never do it.
It's because she keeps dying.
Exactly it.
This is why we need casual. Oh, we need a remake with casual mode. But like the other characters here, Mikaya won a Choose Your Legends vote. Mikaya was the representative emblem from Radiant Dawn in Engage, which I mean, of course, she kind of had to be because Ike was representing Path of Radiance. But Soth also is the DLC character representing both the Tellius games. We don't get a second person representing Path of Radiance and a second person for Radiant Dawn. No, Soth represents both.
Wasn't Soren also in the game?
Oh, I'm sorry, I
I
meant
recall.
Soren, not Soth. My bad. I'm looking at the picture and I'm just seeing a green. I'm seeing like that dark grayish blue hair and a green outfit in a like a scarf. Like that's Soth. You
Yeah,
can't tell me I'm
yeah,
wrong. That's Soth's design. Like, all right, that's on me. Soren is the character. Whoops.
yeah,
Still just
yeah,
represents both
yeah.
games though. Another mage. Mikaya, I would put her in the middle of the characters that we discussed. Well, I get yeah, no, she'd be in the middle of the characters we discussed so far. She gets points for being a mage, but she loses points because her game is further back and her popularity is not as high as Camilla or Lindis.
Right,
Or Dimitri.
indeed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would tend to agree. She's certainly still in the running, but would be more of like an offhand pick. It would feel a little like, oh, they dug into their history a little bit for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also just don't think it's as likely that we would get like a second Tellius character per se versus like, oh, Dimitri's joining Byleth for some reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to get a remake of Tellius, I think Mikai's stocks soar.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. She would suddenly become the likeliest of who we're discussing today.
Yeah. And
But
I would
until
honestly
that
put
point
Randolph as a
comes,
second.
hell yeah, and Largo as my third.
I recognize the name, but I can't picture him. Anyways, Mikai's chances uh above Dimitri, below Camilla, somewhere in that range. I'm debating on my number.
Uh, 14%, 13%.
13 or 14?
13.
Okay. Because I was going to say 12, but I'll go with 13.
There you go.
All
Bolster your
right.
chance.
And that is our regular chances for the day of this very Fire Emblem episode. John, are you ready for Smash or Dash?
Let's do it.
All right, you're gonna be talking a lot more. So for
Okay.
Smash or Dash, we have four more Fire Emblem characters, but this time they're all villains. They're all big villains in the franchise, and well, there may be some similarities. They all fight. They all have different styles. So we're gonna go one by one here. This is gonna be a battle royale, our battle royale of the
Do,
season.
do,
So
do,
Jono, start us
do,
off
do.
by telling us about a little brief primer on the original
Yeah.
Medeus.
Long ago, dragons and humans lived in harmony. humans were the newbies to the scene. They popped up after dragons had been around for X amount of time, millennia, whatever. And Naga, the leader of the divine dragons, kind of sought it upon herself to recognize humans are becoming the new dominant species of this world. Uh, all the other dragon types, we need to band together and become Manikets to be able to preserve ourselves and not degenerate and become, feral. And most dragons followed her lead into this like peaceful, harmonic thing. Medeus was one of the dragons who did not. He became a Manicat. He put his power into a dragon stone. He's an earth dragon, but it was still with this underlying thing. Like, I hate that humanity is taking over. Something's going to happen when the time is right, and I'm going to bide my time so I don't go crazy and degenerate in the meantime, like all the other Earth dragons are. Um, there you go. Fast forward X amount of time later, Medeus has his chance. He rises. He manipulates his way into politics of the world, and as Fire Emblem characters tend to do when they're antagonists. And you fight him, and he is this big scary dragon dude. Hooray!
And then he dies and gets resurrected. Now he's now he's a dark dragon. It's like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Next
that is
up,
true. The
moving forward
next
in the
up,
history of Fire Emblem games, John, tell us about Arvis.
you know Arvis. You know that guy. Such an interesting character from that one game.
Yeah, Genealogy of the Holy War, Stickers game.
Yeah. So Arvis is the first generation's antagonist, primary antagonist before things kind of more burst open. You realize he's being manipulated by this ugly little goblin dude named Manfroy, who is the leader of the Loptir Church. Loptis is another dark dragon who is like the primary, like hidden antagonist of this game, and it's interesting, like unlike Medeus, like Loptis's power is locked away inside of a magic tome, which Arvis first uses, and then that's passed down to his son Julius, who is the final fight that you have in the game. Um, Arvis, though, he sticks around. He is manipulated by Manfroy in a variety of ways to do many nefarious things, even though his heart isn't fully in it. He's kind of like a progenitor to like the Lyon or Lyon, however you pronounce it, archetype from uh, Sacred Stones. He's that type of like tragic, used character. But the big thing, one of the big things that he does is set up with his whatever his band of fire mages is called, like the Roving Rotters or some weird shit like that. They get together and they kill Sigurd's crew, including Sigurd.
The Roten
And
Ritter, which is German for Red Knights.
yeah, those guys. Interesting. Um, yeah. So he does that. He steals Sigurd's wife effectively, although that's a little just brainwashed by Manfroy. And Sigurd's wife is also Arvis's sister, and he doesn't realize that for a while.
Why does
And
Fire Emblem
they,
like
and
siblings pairing up with each other so much?
well, Manfroy was manipulating them because they both have the blood of Loptis inside of them. So to keep producing heirs who could be possessed by Loptis, he increased his chances of that happening through that. And so their son that they have together, Julius, he becomes bad, and their daughter becomes good, and has like the divine dragon's blood as her major dragon blood.
Yay,
Isn't
Julia.
this so interesting? Yay! Arvis is also a fire sage. His primary legendary tome is called Valflame, and he's also capable of wielding thunder, wind, light magic, and staves. And There you go.
He also has light
What a
magic
guy.
in the first half of the game, but he loses it for some reason in the second half.
Makes sense with a story beat. It's true.
Well, we've got a Earth slash Dark Dragon and a Fire Mage. Who's next? Jonno, tell us about Lyon.
Yeah. Oh, that guy. We were just talking about him a
You
little
did
bit.
just talk about him a little bit.
Uh, yeah, so a little bit. Like, he is the best friend, childhood friend growing up of Ephraim and Erica in the Sacred Stones. He's the Prince of Grado and the son of Vigard, who is the guy who becomes possessed by the bad guy. You know how that goes. And Leon, kind of like Arvis at first, kind of follows his father's lead, but then, pushes back against him for being bad. And then it's too late because the
Oopsie
Demon
poopsie.
King for Mortis takes over Leon's body, and they kind of fight against each other with their wills throughout the majority of the game. But Leon, as for Mortis, is a bunch of bad shit. And he is unlike Arvis, Leon possesses dark magic, and I'm forgetting his class, but it was something more unique. Let me look that up. Oh, he's a
Uh,
necromancer, so he can
yes.
do things that involve zombies, which are in sacred stones. Hooray! As well as
Hooray.
other demonic creatures.
He can also use stabs to heal.
He sure can.
This is kind of
He
funny.
sure can.
Alright. We've got an Earth slash Dark Dragon. We've got a Fire Mage whose son became the devil. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
And then we've got the son of another man who became the devil.
Yep. Good times.
Similar but different. So far, all three characters have like different stories and different fighting styles, technically speaking, with dark, fire, and earth.
Yeah.
So, what's the last one we're going to be? John, I need you to tell me about the biggest villain in all of Fire Emblem, Rhea.
Oh God, where do we start with that?
We start with you talking to
Us,
tell us
perhaps?
about the Black Knight, actually, from the Tellius games.
Oh, good, great, wonderful. That guy. Yeah, he kills Ike's father.
What the fuck?
Spoilers. Um,
Why does everybody
who
here
he
except for
has
Medeus have daddy issues?
right. Medeus has more of like humans are killing mannequins, so I'm gonna step in and go kind of ham on them, kind of thing.
Honestly, fair.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little bit fair.
yeah, right. Almost. Oh, maybe not to the degree that
He's
that
he's
he's
the violent version of Mother Nature. Oh my
right.
god, it's Veridi.
There you go. It's you if you had these capabilities. Medeus est Zantok, as they said in the Latin. Anyway, Black Knight. He's an enigma. Not the same as the one who fought for the whole search for the Holy Grail. Well, he actually didn't. He Monty Python did. It was King Arthur. It was a whole thing. But this Black Knight, again, he is an enigmatic character. He is a. It's kind of hard to telegraph where his will is at first. You see him on the side of Dan, who in the first game, as you mentioned earlier, were the antagonistic country in the game. And again, that was something else, a dark underside of things. But he doesn't really follow the same code that the Mad King Ashnard did. He is much more of a benevolent, fair warrior. He has a certain code of conduct that he follows, and his armor is impenetrable by most means, which is so bizarre. Ike tries to fight him. Hold on a minute. Ike tries to fight him with his basic ass sword early on when his dad is taken out by the Black Knight, and it does not go over very well for him. So Q the search for Ragnar, the sister blade to Alondite, who, Ike wields Ragnar, Black Knight wields Alondite, and a lot of that story goes back and forth. There's a lot of politics at play within the Radiant games. The personal story of the Black Knight and Ike, and as well as the political story of why the Black Knight is working with Dane, and then later in other circles in Radiant Dawn, it all kind of circles back to this more personal story for Ike. So it's a personal villain, kind of like threading through these greater things at work. And again, primarily a sword user. I think his thing is that he would be much heavier than any other Fire Emblem fighter, Smash Brothers fighter, representing Fire Emblem, given that heavy ass armor of his. And he would hit harder too. Has a magic in his sword and can be used in different ways than Ike, etc., etc.
Yeah, his sword, both his sword and Ike's swords, are both blessed by the goddess, and they were both once upon a time wielded by the same person, dual wielding them. Holy shit, Altina! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, right.
Fucking badass. Like her art in Heroes, like, okay, you wielding these swords, my God,
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
But we have we
Do
have
that.
we have four different villains here, as I've kind of already been saying a few different times.
Yeah.
Each of them fight differently. Lyon and Arvis are the most similar because, well, they're both standard mages. One specializes in dark spells, one specializes in fire. Medeus technically could do magic as well, but he's a dragon. You know, he's got his dragon breath. Earth dragons have like a poison breath thing, but he can also do shadow dragony stuff. And then Black Knight, he's just full martial for the most part. I mean, he does have a
Mm-hmm.
ranged attack where he creates a shockwave, but beyond that, he is a full martial character. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he's the least villain of all these four. Well, I guess it kind of depends on how you look at Lyon, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not the big bad.
Right. Right.
Arvis
Right.
technically he's the big bad for Sigurd's story. Technically not the big bad in the end. Medeus is, Lyon is, Black Knight not so much.
Right. 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 Yeah, they all play different levels of there's a certain role that they all fill in a different way,
Yeah,
which is interesting. Um, Black Knight, recurring antagonist, definitely not the primary, like the big bad. In many regards, kind of the primary antagonist because he just shows up so often. Um, but at a certain point, that story resolves
yeah.
prior to the end of Radiant Dawn. Um,
But Black Knight also
Arvis,
can
yeah.
use a lance in addition to his sword, and he comes with the ability Luna, which lets him cut
Hmm.
through an enemy's defense. And it's like, oh,
Right.
that's a nice shield you've got going there. What shield?
Right. Right. And then just think about how terrifying Altena would be with both swords. Good
Oh
lord.
boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Arvis, similarly, primary antagonist of the early game. Yeah, he's actually, you don't defeat him until the penultimate chapter, which is interesting. He has a role to play throughout most of the game, but Medeus is like the soul. Like even he, as kind of like the soul, like actual bad dude, has a sympathetic reasoning for doing what he's done.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it comes to
But
to all their weapons, Medeus has dark breath, which, wow, that's really
mm-hmm.
descriptive. It's just like a dark flames, basically is
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like. But Earth dragons typically also have like a poison vest. You could go either or with that, but he doesn't really have weapons beyond that. In Tokyo Mirage sessions, where a sort of version of him appears as the final antagonist, he has a tail attack. He can bite at you with his fangs, and he also got attacks called Hellfire and Flame Nebula, which is big fire attacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Arvis, Valflame, as you mentioned, they could also give him any other fire magic
Mm-hmm.
from that game. And
Mm-hmm.
he's also got the ability Nihil, which let's in Black Knight also gets this one of his fights. They both get this ability, lets them prevent their opponent from activating skills in battle. So it's like if an opponent had like the counterattack skill, you can be like, nah, you don't counterattack me, bitch. Fuck off.
Right. Right. Right.
Can't really interpret that so much in Smash necessarily, not in a very great way. But they'd also just take like really, I think Arvis also anything that Julius can do, or anything that like is Loptis aligned, I think could be easily slapped onto Arvis as well.
Hmm.
Similarly with Leon, he's
Right.
a dark mage, but anything that is like specifically associated to Formortis, Leon can easily do that. Formortis, by the way, would obviously be the final
Hmm.
smash, 100 fucking percent.
Yeah. 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 Oh yeah, just like the Dark Dragon transformation would be Medeus is, the Loptis tone would be Arvis's. Like anytime that you're using like this big crazy monster thing,
Yeah,
use it where you can.
yes, absolutely. This is where uh cutscene final smashes get the win. Is you can just do whatever you want for 10-15 seconds, make a cinematic experience that you can't do on the actual battlefield. Summoning an ancient demon to just nuke the world. Can't do that outside of the
Yeah,
cutscene, really.
would be a little harder, I would imagine.
Yes. And also, does you mentioned with his necromancy and that zombies in Second Sense, is
Hmm.
Leon and or Phil Mortis? Because I always want to say for Mortis. Like, nope, there's no R after the O in there.
Hmm.
Uh, do they actually have anything to do with the zombies? Do they create them or command them?
Ye I don't know about like yeah, I guess they do kind of command them because they can summon them and then they appear on the map and kind of serve their will and fight your army.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is a huge early plus for Leon is that, you're not just dealing with a dark magic moveset, which in itself is interesting, or with Formotis in the final smash, you're also dealing with like, oh, he has the ability to summon zombies and skeletons and moth dukes and other monsters. A summoning class character, not in Smash yet, would be cool if it were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Then you have more of these straight ahead characters like Arvis. If he's in the game, he's using primarily fire. Like even though he can do all these other things, I think it's easy to say Valflame is prominent. It's probably like a standard special that can get super strong as you charge it. Loptis is probably the final smash, and then fill it out with other powerful magic tomes to that make sense for the other specials.
Yeah.
Which I'm tired of fire for Pokemon, but for Fire Emblem, if it's actual fire magic and you're not attaching it to a sword like Ragno, okay, could be interesting. It's not the worst thing anyway. It's not another sword,
Right. But
so
fire is
interesting.
the most of the elements. Fire is the most represented in Smash as an attacking element, but that's also not a
Hmm.
surprise because in anything, fire is the element that gets the most representation. Always. It's just
It's the,
how things
it's
go.
the easiest. It's the easiest to translate as like, oh, that's dangerous.
Yes.
something,
Touch
something
fire.
that
Fire hurt. Fire bad. Simple
yeah,
concepts.
simple concepts. Earth and water and wind and all
They
that. It
don't
gets a little more
usually
complicated.
hurt you on just on touch.
Right,
Usually.
right, right, right. Medeus is like he can be a pretty big rush down character. Like I imagine him, like just in his badass heroes art. Um, he is your like Ganondorf level villain for Fire Emblem, and he is as foreboding. Like just looking at him, you could tell he's trained. He is ready to snap your head off in an instant with his dragon powers. It's very, very intimidating. Very intimidating dude. just from the outright. Like his attitude kind of helps feed the character, and there's points there for just like if you want to introduce a villain from Fire Emblem, really for the first time, Robin counts if you want to get cute with it. Um, but really for the first time, a straight ahead villain for Fire Emblem Smash. He's a great choice, and part of it is, he above all the others here is a villain. He is bad to the bone, to a more of a degree than the other guys at least. And yeah, like the way he would move and the way that he would attack with like his dark breath and other moves reminiscent of, and as a Manicat, he can summon like parts of his dragon form without going full dragon. I have a Smashtopia moveset made for Medeus on our wiki page that kind of goes into that a little bit. So like your like it's not just his wings either, although those are obvious for like an up special. Um, it's the maw of his big old dragon mouth, summoning the dark breath. It's using the power of the Earth Stone to bite forward with his Earth Dragon head. It's you can stomping down with a dragon foot. Like you can get interested and creative with a Manicat that doesn't play as much by the rules of a standard Manicat like Tiki would.
I am gonna send you a picture of something. Like in the images of each of these characters that we have up on the screen right now. For those of you looking at YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
these are the attack animations for each of these characters from their Fire Emblem Heroes art. I just found that Medeus actually got an alt in the game of before he has like the all the evil shadow dragon like effects from him. It's last
Oh,
Earth Dragon version of Medeus. It's like, oh, holy shit, this looks cool. And in this art,
okay.
he's got like he's mostly human form, but he's got his big thick ass tail being displayed on him. It's like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
big
Oh
ass
yeah.
tail whip attack. This
Yeah.
art is bad. I mean, regular Medeus art in the Heroes is baddest.
Yeah.
This art is also Heroes. Some
Yeah.
characters not so much. Heroes has some real good fucking art.
Yeah. Yeah. What a cool call, but that's sick.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
shit. It's
So
almost
yeah.
exactly the same as his actual regular outfit, but just the colors are different. They're more earth tone
Yeah.
colors,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's not, like he's probably that's probably still like in he's not being a good guy, but he hasn't gone full Dark Dragon yet. It's like, oh, this art looks good.
Yeah. And having a yeah, and that's kind of the idea. Like use portions of the dragon body to inform like specials and some smash attacks. Like they show his claws and his tail there. Those are easy. Yeah, incorporate those. And then again, go full Earth slash Dark Dragon in the final smash. There could be this whole like transformation mechanic. Like there are a lot of different ways you can approach this type of character. It's exciting to think about. And then there's the Black Knight, who is by all means, the least equipped, at least outright, in this matchup. You look at him and you're like, oh, here's a guy with a sword.
Yeah,
But it is a holy sword. The sword is capable of shooting these wavelength projectiles, which Ragnar is also capable of, and to this day does not do, which is interesting in Smash. Um, incorporating his elements of like super armor could be super annoying to have to deal with. It could be interesting, like learning your way around how to produce effective knockback on this character. Maybe to a certain point it's difficult, and then you break through his defenses, which I think is true of a few heavyweights in Smash right now. Um, then yeah, from there, it's using the magic that's been granted to him by spoilers again by Ashura to be able to teleport on Will, to have the super armor effect on his heavy armor, and then the appeal from there is kind of like, do you want this character who hits really hard and can take a lot of hits. And he's a tank character, which is unique in the scope of Smash now as well,
Yes.
to a degree. So
I think the
not as outwardly, yeah.
Black Knight's biggest problem, I think, is that everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, I Echo," because
Right.
literally same design of sword, similar fighting style. We've joked about potential
Yeah.
Ike Echoes
Right.
earlier.
Right.
Black Knight
Yeah.
is the big Ike Echo.
Right. It could be. I don't think that his body type is exactly the same, but other than that, I mean, you could make him a clone, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. I mean, again, you could do. Otherwise, it's again, you're incorporating the skills that he is capable of using. So like Eclipse or something like I don't think that is like primary like Luna would necessarily work as it does in Fire Emblem in a game like Smash. Like, oh, I have your defense. That could be like a shield breaker,
Yeah, no, you make it a
maybe.
shield breaker, and you make it be able to like pass
Mhm.
through counters.
Right, right. So yeah, otherwise it's just how can you make the heaviest, most imposing different types of sword moves, which I think is always possible. It's just that yes, if this were RTC, you would be considering like, oh, there's always this heavy potential for them to also like skirt under the radar because maybe his best chance of actually making it to Smash at this point is like, oh, we can make him heavier Ike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If this was RTC, Black Knight would get the highest score.
yeah, That's actually he's another rampantly popular character. I'm sure he's won some sort of Choose Your Legends poll before.
No, none of these four characters have won
Oh,
Choose Your
really?
Legends.
Interesting.
I don't. Have we had any villain
Has a villain
to
ever?
win? Uh, well, are we counting Robin and Edelgard?
Again, if you want to get cute with it.
Let me double check the stats here, but I don't believe I'll go through and mention who all the winners are so far because they have might as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Choose your legends. Who has won each year? Oh boy, oh. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to go through, isn't it? Okay. So the first year was won by uh Roy, Lucina, Ike, and Lynn, as previously mentioned. The second year was won by Hector, Celica, Ephraim, and Veronica from Heroes. The third year was that's the interim results. The final result was won by Alm, Micaiah, Camilla, and Ellawood. The fifth year. Wait, hold on. Did I? Oh, yeah, I accidentally skipped the fourth year. The fourth year was won by Edelgard, Dimitri, Claude, and Lysithea. Three houses sweep. Year 5 was Gatekeeper in the number 1 spot. Marth, Marianne, and Erica. Year 6 was won by Crom, Tiki, Selif, and female Byleth. Oh wait, so Sigurd hasn't won. So Selif won before Sigurd then. Round 7 was won by male Robin, Thorin, Golvig, and female Corin. Golvig was the OC. Actually, you know what? Golvig was a villain. Heroes OC villain
Oh,
who won for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. You want to know what the 2 reasons were? That's it.
oh,
That's
she's
the
another
reason.
caring person.
No,
Yeah.
no, not caring. Not caring. She wants to erase you from
Oh, so not like
existence.
Camilla.
No.
Oh, how terrible.
Sort of. There's a whole time thing. You actually meet this character at 3 different points of their life, from like when they were a child, 20s ish, and then like adult. It's a whole time travel book chapter. It's a mess. Uh, the eighth vote was won, but oh god, why is the result weird? The eighth one was won by Bernadetta, Alphonse, the main OC of Heroes, female Robin, and Felix. So both Robins won. And then the last one so far, because we don't know if we'll get one for 2026, considering the game seems to be shutting down. Year 9 was won by, I don't know how to say that name. It's another OC. It's like Ike Thurnier. It's a Norse name. Male Byleth,
Okay.
Sharina, and Balder. Their interpretation of the Norse god Balder. So actually, yeah, Sigurd has not won. Sigurd was 5th place overall last year.
Oh well.
He missed out on winning one of the male slots by just under 4,000 votes. The number of votes have been going down each year. The game has definitely been losing popularity. Like Gatekeeper had Gatekeeper had 70,000 plus votes.
Holy
the winner from last year was the OC guy. He had 15,000 votes. And no, the votes aren't just being spread out more. That's just they have lost popularity hard.
It's to be expected at this point in its life cycle, but
yeah.
Even then.
And notice, no engaged characters have won.
Wonder why.
But we still keep getting 3 houses winners, so.
Wonder why. It's almost like fan response actually means something for these games.
The only two engaged characters that got in the top 10 overall were Ivy and Yunaka. Last year, that is. Last year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're who I would choose if I had to choose to.
And then female Alir and Diamant were in the top 20.
Diamant would also be up there. Alir, whatever. Yeah, interesting. Back to our Smash or Dash, I do suppose you have. Yes. It's a pretty interesting spread. You have a true heavy tank unit, hard to immobilize, extremely good like knockback and melee range and hit potential. You have kind of like a mid-weight spellcaster with the fire mage who can be kind of like a keep away character, a lot of different like explosive different types of fire magic that can be incorporated to make it interesting. You have a character who uses dark magic, who in many circumstances most interesting type of magic. Like it's really spread out in terms of what you can and can't do, and it could be a devastating type of magic to incorporate. On top of summoning monsters. To what degree, if that would be in Smash, I don't know, but I think it would be to some sort of degree, like a special, perhaps, relegated to summoning at least one type of creature, maybe 2 to 3. And then again, the initial villain from the series, like the flagship original villain with dragon parts, full dragon transform on the final Smash. So all very different dudes, all with a reason for consideration. So it's difficult. Where are your thoughts kind of leading right now?
I think first of all, well, I feel like I'm being unfair when I voice this, but I feel like Black Knight is not in the running for me personally. Largely because sword fighters. We already have Ike. Do we need another big heavy weapon, big heavy sword? No, we don't. And also, if I'm looking at this as getting some villain representation, he don't compare to these 3. He doesn't. Yeah. Like, he is a villain, sure, but he's more. He's really only a villain in Path of Radiance. In Radiant Dawn, he's arguably an anti-villain. He actually helps Micaiah. Granted, because they're Micaiah's from Dane, and he sees a young lady. He's like, "Who the fuck is attacking her?" No, you don't attack a young lady, you fucking dickheads. And he comes to her defense,
There
which I love.
are other reasons too.
Which I don't remember. I never finished Radiant Dawn because I lost too many units and I wasn't saved. I wasn't trying to like reload things, so I just I got to where I could not continue. I was like, I'm stuck. Fuck.
Right.
Uh, but for me, he doesn't stack up to these three. I like Medeus being able to do his dragon attacks. You can also mix in a little bit of dark magic ish, I guess, where it's not so much like a dark magic tome like Nosferatu or Goetia, but generic dark energy blast, the Ganondorf style. You know,
Dark Breath would be a part of it for sure, somewhere.
yeah.
Mhm.
Dark Breath, Tail Swipe, a manifesting giant or dragon head for like a bite or something along these lines. Do a kick attack when his leg turns into a dragon leg just for a more forceful kick. It'd be weird seeing Medeus do a
Yeah.
big kick like that, but it'd also be funny.
Yep.
Lyon with his dark magic, and also maybe you could have like some of his animations make it look like he's struggling against himself, because clearly, like we're saying, it's Leon, but since it's clearly Thomortis in control of Leon's body, if we're going with this route, but there might be like a taunt or something where Leon is trying to regain control, but he just can't, and then
Right.
you bring in Thomortis for the final smash, big old demon blast,
Right.
Arvis, fire on fire on fire on fire, maybe a little bit of
Mhm.
Loptis in a final smash. But beyond that, it's just a bunch of fire
Definitely.
spells.
Definitely.
Which
Definitely.
I'm saying that and it doesn't sound interesting, but they can make different kinds of fire attacks out of it. And then,
Yeah, fire attacks that reference other dragons. You can use like Salamander and other like major tomes like that.
yeah.
Anyway, what? Sorry, what were you saying?
And then in Black Knight is sword attacks, big great
Mhm.
sword attacks that he can one handed swing around like a goddamn monster. Launch out a projectile shockwave along the ground and big beefy tank man. I don't
Yep.
really have much I can say about him, unfortunately.
uh, the tank thing is the most attractive thing about it. I think this is your first like true like super heavy like armored character. There's something you can do with the mechanics of having someone with that kind of heft that is interesting. And he's one of the few characters that come to mind first when you're thinking about that. I think there will always be a lot for the Black Knight in Smash proper, and there is a way to make it attractive and intriguing
Yeah.
to yeah. So
And
yeah, from those perspectives, yeah.
and for anybody wondering, he's like, well, if Black Knight isn't like a big main antagonist, why do you even have him in this matchup of big from villains? Because we wanted somebody that's martial, and there's very few
Mhm.
martial characters in Fire Emblem that are the big villains. It's pretty much Black Knight,
Right, right.
Berkut, arguably for the Echoes game, and Nemesis.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That's really it. You could argue
Hmm.
Takumi.
Fuck. Fuck that guy.
Technically the
Who's
final
keep him
boss.
out of here? Yeah. Yeah, there are two of
Uh,
them. Two Takamis. Incredible.
God, fucking Jesus.
um, but yeah, I think my interest in the character aside, because I love this character. I think they did a great job weaving his story into the greatest story of the game. He's an interesting tragic character. Similarly to Leon and Arvis, not truly evil. Really not a terrible dude, but he has committed acts that do not line up with his character. And so, from all those respects, I'm still interested. Like again, for the reasons that I mentioned, in having him playable in Smash. I think there is a way to make it interesting, but when you're basing him up against these three other guys, I do kind of feel like he is the easy out.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, like, should we have done Nemesis instead of Black Knight for this episode? So I put up Nemesis's page, and it's like, oh, right. Your main weapon is sort of the creator. You also only get fought
Mm-hmm.
in one, or maybe it's two, one or two of the game's stories.
Right.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck Nemesis. I'm not even gonna consider it. I put Black Knight above Nemesis. Fuck that.
Yeah, and Berkut. I mean, not like either of these
I
guys are.
mean, Berkut,
Yeah.
though, honestly, Lance user. And also, at one point, literally just
True.
loses his fucking mind. So just have this guy that's
Yeah.
just like, mind gone, just replaced with just like a crazy, cackling. Fuck it. My wife's the only person I ever loved is dead now, and her ghost is here, and I'm just gonna fucking kill you, because what else is there for me to do? Honestly, I'd fucking love that shit. Same reason why I think Gangrel would be funny as hell, because the personality and just sheer
Yeah.
madness would be so good. So good.
Berkut was an interesting character, especially when you consider that he was made for Echoes.
Yeah.
He was not in Gaiden. So yeah, I agree they did well with him. Maybe he'll get his chance another day.
I mean, I would laugh, but Grom did.
Right. So Black Knight's out. We have these three other guys to have to contend with.
Yes.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, we're coming up on the 2 hour mark here. So unless you
Yeah.
do you have anything more that you want to cover with any of them, or should we get to our picks?
I think we get to our picks. Yeah. Well, let's do the thing. How do we want to do this? Like, say.
All right. So start
our
out
first
with
choice.
your number one. Start with your number one here.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. That's me. Okay, you're waiting to hear from me.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Medeus.
Medeus. Medeus is my number one as well. Representing the very first Fire Emblem game, dragon aspect, but also be able to mix in some just like some brutish brawler behavior a little bit. I mean, he's not like
Mm-hmm.
that's really what he does, but at least in his artwork for heroes attacks, it's like, okay, this guy looks like he's about to come at me and either just knock me flat with a punch or literally throw a spell at me. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm about to die.
You could make him
This
kind of a rushdown
man's
character.
this man's fists are bigger than my face.
Because they're dragon fist.
Yes, I am going to die on impact.
Yeah, and being, like a first ever like the guy who started everything for Fire Emblem villains. I mean, that's some sort of credence that would give them a chance and rate their chances too above a lot of characters. But it's also here like having a respectful nod because he's such a well-rounded fighter and interesting character class. Like having that extra little spice, like, oh yeah, he's also the first villain. It's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Our second pick. Medeus is in. He's been locked in. He's the number one winner. Who is our number two choice?
Ooh, intriguing. Intriguing. Want me to go first again?
I can if you'd like for me to.
Sure, go ahead.
So it's between Arvis and Lyon because I've kind of written out Black Knight. That said, if your pick is Black Knight, then that means we get to talk about our number three picks. Well, I guess my number three pick would kind of be revealed when I say my number two pick. Now that I think about it, whoops. But between these two, the one that I think would be the most interesting with what they can do and how they can be presented is quite obviously for me Lyon. You get the dragon aspect, the trying to fight back the possession, and also just more dark magic, and maybe zombies.
And maybe zombies. I'm actually having. It's been difficult. It's been a back and forth. I've kind of come to the conclusion that Medeus would be in, Black Knight wouldn't be. I think that early on it was becoming clear that those were kind of the one and the four. But who's the two for me is a big question because yes, Leon has all of these things he can do, but I also value, and I've mentioned this on the podcast multiple times, like a concentrated character. Someone who hones in on one or two very specific things and is just the best at doing those things and executing them. So having a mage who specializes in fire, and that's like the thing they do besides the final smash where Loptis comes out and is, summoned through that tome. Um, in could be in like like a spiritual form too if you see like the animation for that attack. Um, magic-y bullshit going on. There's also something to say for that character who, like, okay, Arvis is a fire sage. He does fire better than anyone else, and that's what he does. You incorporate very high level fire tomes. Again, I thought of Salamander earlier, where you're like literally keeping that like flame dragon sidewinder thing in the attack. You can interpret it in that way, being like a interpretation of the like god, quote unquote, salamander from Fire Emblem. You could do just what are some other like high level.
Bolganone.
Well, yeah, you could do Bolgan. You could do famously enough, Meteor will have to be included.
I'm also not
For
sure what
story-based
game some of these
reasons.
fire spells came in, so.
Right. And I do think that there's some room for creative interpretation. Like, we've already got Robin doing Nosferatu, which should not be able to be happening. So, giving Arvis, like, spells from other games, especially with heroes, giving him capability to do that,
Rex
I think.
Flame.
Yeah.
Ragnar. Oh, these
So,
are first ones. I wouldn't do those. Wait, what is
mhm,
Four Blaze? Oh, it's from Elib.
right. So it's just like that's the question, do you want this more jack of all trades kind of character who, like Leon, what may not necessarily hone in on any one of these particular traits. He will summon a zombie and have a dark magic attack, and just kind of fill out he'd be more spread out, which is not a bad thing. It could also be easier to recognize or play as someone who's more of a specialist. So it's that's where I'm leaning on, is like the technicality. Um, hmm, interesting. I am so torn. You know what? For the integrity of the show and the sanctity of the tiebreaker, I'll say Arvis.
With that, we have our first tie in a while. We didn't have one at all last season. So now we're going to do the thing where hey, people at home, or wherever you are, I don't know, maybe you listen to this on your daily commute.
Yeah.
Tell us, Arvis or Lyon? If you got to choose one of these two to add as a playable character in the next match for this game, and which one would not be playable, who would you choose?
Yeah.
We'll tell you the votes, and in our next Master Dash episode, we'll reveal who the winner is. And that character will move on to the Tournament of Champions alongside Medeus.
What a time that'll be. Both tragic villain characters who, yeah, feel
Yep.
sorry for them. They're also very magical dudes.
Magic is power? Shit, no, wrong quote. Damn it. It's magic is everything. Damn it, Reinhardt.
Isn't magic is power from My Little Pony?
I'd never watched it, so I don't know. That might be why it's in. I said it though, because maybe I heard it somewhere. And it was just the words were there.
Magic is power.
I would have thought it would have been more like
Uh
magic is happiness, but okay, I don't know. Or friendship. Well, yeah, isn't
oh,
that
it
what it
is
is?
like friendship is
Yeah, it's
magic.
friendship is magic. That's what it is.
Yeah. There you go.
Jesus.
Maybe
Magic is
Houdini
power
said
did
magic
not
is
sound
power.
very My Little Pony. I was like, it doesn't sound quite right, but maybe I don't know. Again, I never watched it. Uh,
Right. Well, there we go. Off
there
to the
we
races.
go. You guys got 6 weeks to vote. Maybe. Well, actually, not really, because it's it's not like it's going to be recorded exactly 6 weeks after we recorded this one. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be complicated to deal with, but we'll figure it out and we'll see what your votes
Yeah,
are and we'll do the thing.
sometime, and in
Yeah.
some moment away from this moment, we will know what your vote was.
Yep. But that is going to be the end of this episode right here. Next time on Supercast Brothers. Oh shit! It's time for the intermission, where we do a roster making episode live with the grid format that we established last season, where we made a Nintendo vs. Capcom moveset, a Nintendo vs. Capcom roster. We're making another roster live together with the grid in a week. That episode will go up.
Yeah. I like how our intermission doesn't actually mean there's a break. It's just like, oh no, we're doing another type of episode.
Yeah, it's a break from typical format of like on topic Smashtopia Smash Fest, on topic Smashtopia Smash Fest. Now it's like on topic Smashtopia Smash Fest, roster live, on topic Smashtopia Smasher Dash. We have 2 intermissions
And
throughout the
then,
season with a live roster making episode and a live Smashtopia. Smashtopia will be later in the season. We've been doing that one for a couple seasons now.
and once a month you've got Age Owada. Things are getting crowded around here.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Fuck. Well, with that, we'll see you all then. Bye, everyone. You know the audio listeners don't know what you're doing, right? When you
Yeah,
do these
but
little
it's a
visual
special
gags,
treat. It's a
they
special
just
treat.
hear dead air.
Yeah, it's probably that's a gift to them in itself.
You hear that, guys? You got a gift of Jonno doing a video gag that you don't get to hear because 98% of our viewership is audio. But with that,
Hold
for
on,
real, goodbye.
I'm moving my head around. I'm strickling my fingers.
And I'm
All for
clicking
you.
the end button.